She stepped out for a moment, but be right.
Can you hear me?
So I can hear you, girl.
You can hear me, girl. Child, I went to slick these edges down. Hold on.
You look the loveliest. I'm so
Thank you,
happy to
so.
see you. It is
I'm
recording
so
now. That's
happy
what we
to
were waiting
see
for.
you. Hold on, let
Um,
me just
do
pull
your
this mic
thing.
up.
While you do your thing, I will explain to you. I will explain to you. When I met you the third month that I had moved to California from Alabama, and
Okay.
it was brief. And that night, I don't know if you remember, but I bombed hard.
Child, I definitely don't remember.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
only
how many
you
shows
remember
you
your worst
right,
bombs.
you
You
got
know,
right. Well, it was
the
bad.
hold on, I'm just
But you
wiping it.
said
Just
do the
okay,
thing. I
great.
run my
Yeah.
mouth. You said to me, and you hold my hand with your little hands, and you're like, it's so beautiful to see the beginning of something great. And I'm never gonna forget that because I was going
Really?
through it. I was going through it, and I did not believe that what I was doing was anything more than just getting rid of my stage fright. That was what I was doing for with the stand up, was trying to get rid of the stage fright.
Mm.
And you grabbed my little hands with your little hands, and you said that, and then my heart just melted, and I'm like, I'm never gonna forget this woman. And
Wow.
a lot of times when I don't feel right, I remember this woman said to me that she saw the beginning of something great, even though it's something I've been trying to figure out my whole life. You saw a beginning. You could have
Wow.
said many things. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mimi Show, and this is Miss the wonderful Del Harrison. Ah,
First of
ah.
all, I am so happy. That is our introduction. And I don't remember a thing. When I tell
But how
you,
many people you meet though? You meet so many people,
I
so it's
know.
like to
And
keep a memory of little old me is nothing.
no, it's not even little you. It's like I gotta remember myself as well because honey, you be doing so much. And that's also too why I've been trying to like just slow down. But it just goes to show that like I'm so glad that that was our encounter. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because that's the legacy I want to leave for myself, just a spiritual legacy, to others and being encouraged and you know
Yeah, you left love. I had an instance like that with a guy who asked me, he told me, he's like, "Hey, I like what you're doing," and I told him, "I'm glad it's healing. It's healing me. It's curing my depression." Now, I
yes.
forgot that I said that, and then
Mm.
sometime later he brought it back. He's like, "Look, I never forgot what you said." And I'm like, "What I say?"
Exactly.
Like, what did I say?
Exactly. This man's
So,
like, you healed me that night, Mimi.
like, right,
You
like you meant,
did.
I said something that meant something. Yeah. But I don't remember. It could have been anything. I'm like, what I say? So at the moment, I'm like, oh no, like my
Yeah.
little, what is like the
Yeah.
not anxiety, like the paranoia that I must have
Yes.
said something wrong. Like what I say? Yeah, but it
Hmm.
wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was good. And then he said that. I'm like, oh well, I'm glad that was something. But that's kind of like that instance with you. So I watch your content, and I love you singing.
Thank you so much.
I love you singing because it reminds me of back home. It reminds me of when I used to go to watch performances in Birmingham, and just the spirit and the soul that goes through you as a performer to the
Mm,
audience.
yeah. Yeah.
Because people feeling you.
No, people, that's what music is. I mean, that's what performance is, period. Whether it's like a piece of art or this, but it does with music, it does do something different, is because you can't see it, you can only feel it. And it has the power to like get in you and you connect with it. It's like we all got these like strings coming out of our belly, and music makes us like those strings attached, so yeah. And I love it. I'm actually getting ready to record a live album in June, so I'm excited about that. I'm so
Congratulations.
glad it's in June, that way I could
You
take
got
it.
a half a year.
I got a half a year. And I got a little over half a year to I already been like kind of like designing the set list in my head, but just being like, okay, Lord, just tell me what to do
Right.
because I just don't want to stress out, you know?
Right, right. You going with the flow as it receive what's right and
Yes.
do and receive what's right. Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. No, not putting the pressure of things. But you know what? What you just said, you said you're figuring in your head the set. A lot of people don't understand and don't know that that part of artistry where you making all of it up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to figure out how everything's gonna look.
Yes.
This isn't a you buy it and it's set up and then you
Yes.
just pop in.
Yes. You're
No.
literally like, and that's why I had because we were this place offered me a date in January. And then they were like, okay, we need to know how the set looks right now. We need to know how, and I was like, it needs to be in June. Like, because I can't
Right.
even think, I'm thinking about like, I need to like rehearse, I need to get it like so because you have to have like with music, you have to have rehearsals. You even have to rehearse the riffs. You got to rehearse, nothing. I mean, things can be a surprise once it gets going and you're feeling it, but you need to
Mhm.
know changes and things like that. So, and then I'm like, I don't even know what it looks like right now because I don't know what comes out first. So, like now that I pushed it to June, I can see what happens in the
Right.
beginning, but I still can't see like the colors and how it looks. I can't see any of that.
Right.
So,
And that'll
I'm
just
just
come either in the night or while you're eating or while you're
yes,
walking or in the
yes,
shower or when you're doing your
yes,
hair. It'll just come like, yep, it's
yes,
green, or yep, it's okay on the
yep.
left. It's gonna be on
I
that's how
know.
it happens.
I know.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
gonna be
I,
something. It's gonna be a big bash.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited.
Mm.
Do you I wanted to ask you, uh, is there is there a piece of art? Because I know for me there is. I always tell the same story, but is there a piece of art or something, a song or something that changed your life or made you just or something shifted or you realized something or just something through a piece of art or a movie or is there something like that? Was there something like that for you
Hmm. That changed my life. Yeah.
that did something intense to you, a
Yeah.
piece of
No,
art?
no. Wait, no. I know exactly what you're saying. And it was the first time I stepped on stage. That is what changed my life. I was a whole different person. I was working, we was traveling, I was just spending all my money. It was just like, you come home for the weekend, honey, you like, what paycheck? Did I have one?
Gone.
And gone. And once I stepped on stage, I felt like a rebirth. I used to even lie a lot, before I started doing stand up. And then doing stand up, it is a sport where you have to be very honest or you can't connect. You can't try to be funny. You literally
Mm-mm.
have to be your most honest self. And your
Mm-hmm.
most honest self is the funniest.
Mm-hmm.
And it just literally cleaned it literally made me a whole new person. And I feel like because I celebrate that day, that I feel like that day was my rebirth, just being on set, like just because I
Yeah.
started stand up when I was 29. So I had already gone through my wild 20s and it just birthed like, from there. I feel like I was, in
You
fact,
found
I don't
yourself
even
again on
remember.
stage.
Like sometimes I'll talk to my friends about our 20s. I don't even remember the like a lot of the things we did because I feel like life started right there at the stand up point. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so stand up,
Your decision of
yes,
living. My
yes,
like my like now I'm moving. I'm the one steering the wheel.
yes, that's it. And it just tunnel vision from there. And I didn't see anything else. This is the first thing I started and stuck with. I have always been like an entrepreneurial spirit. I have started so many things in my life, but once I got
Right.
to this, I was like, oh, this is it.
This is it.
Don't want to do no other, don't want to, you know what I mean? Like was
Yes.
already
Yes.
going to work grouchy, like guys, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be in here because
Right.
I just wanted to do this one thing. And of course, that was a journey. You still have to work and
Right.
and
But it be like
find your
that though.
way.
The dis-ease of
Yes,
going to work when you're not expressing your true self anywhere.
yes,
Like you see people pissed off at work, they most likely need to express themselves
I
outside of
know.
work
That's
and not be there. Like you don't want me
yes,
in your cubicle is what I tell people. You don't want me at your
yes,
cubicle job. I'm annoying.
yes. No, it's for real,
Yeah.
and they're annoying also too because they
Right.
they need to express themselves. So,
Right.
it's been, and it's been life changing, and it has brought me on such a journey, and that has been a pivotal thing to like make me a whole new like my mindset, my whole connection with self. I don't know if I even had self love before then because
Whoa.
you see what I'm saying? Because it shedded so many layers of a person that I wasn't.
Of
That
personal deceit. Like
yes,
like your own
yes,
self foolishness,
yeah,
fooling.
that's it. I was basically trespassing in my own skin, you
Woo.
know? Yes. So now I'm the full resident and I belong here.
That's right. This is my house. I drive this.
That's
That's
it.
right.
Yes.
Isn't it a beautiful feeling though to
Hmm.
feel free within yourself,
Hmm. And
especially
it's
knowing what that was like what it was, what it
yeah,
was, and to think that that could have stayed that way, or
yeah,
you know, if you hadn't just believed in yourself enough to get on stage and have that moment.
yes. It's a
Ooh,
constant work too. Like you never stop. I've been doing it in January, it'll be 20 years. And you never stop working on self. Like it seems like
right,
from that point on, it's every year it's been some kind of revelation, some kind of new me, some kind of shedding of something, some kind
right.
of, even right now, it's just still a constant shedding
Are you hard
and a
on
constant.
yourself, or do you go with your ease of growth?
I feel like I'm honest with self when it comes to stand up. Stand up, I don't, sometimes I go into plays and I bomb, that's what it is. Because when you're writing new material, there are ways to connect to an audience. And if you want
Mhm.
to get something new out there, sometimes, there
You
are
got to
tactics
work on
to
it
be
and
able to
tweak it,
connect.
and yeah, it takes time telling the
I
same
don't
joke over and over to tweak it
over and over to tweak
and
it
see what the people.
and it goes dead. And the only reason you can grow is because you accept, oh, this did not connect with them. And so I'm very honest with myself when it comes to stand up. And in fact, I will write actually in my journal. I used to journal like all the time. I mean, in fact, I need to journal now that I'm going to record something else. Is I need to journal like a list of my jokes. But the one thing I always journal, even when I'm not writing my jokes out, because I write them in my phone, but
Mhm.
when I have a bad set, that is when I go to journal to say, I could have said this, I could have
Mhm.
done this, that would
Mhm.
have connected this lady, then they would have paid attention right there. I
Mhm.
always write what that set could have been because anytime
Mm.
I have a bad set, there's something else coming in 3 weeks the Lord wanted to show me that lesson. And I'm going to need that lesson in 3 weeks or 2 weeks or a week. So he's coming to give me that refresher course
Right.
so
In
that
the
when the big
fail, there's a
opportunity
lesson, period. There's
yeah,
no
you
lesson
you
without the
that's how
fail.
you
Otherwise, you just
grow.
did it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's how you grow. Now at home, um, I have gotten so much better with everything being self-encouraging, just literally because even when I was on my like outside earlier, right? I have been dogs. Okay, honey, I got
It'd be like
dogs
that.
and they want to be in here. Um, but I was outside earlier. I went to the post office because I got this like notice that was in the mail, and I've been expecting a check. So of course, I'm like, this is it. I'm going to the post office. So then I go to the post office and I hand them the notice because they wrote on their final delivery. Okay.
Hmm.
So the lady takes like a long time and then she comes back and she was like, oh, I know what happened. The guy took the thing back out to deliver it to you. So I was like, why did he do that when he said final
Leave the
notice over
note.
here? Now I'm all the way back over here. And then I calmed myself down and I was like, I'm so sorry. I was feeling, I was expecting something. I thought it was it. Then
Mm-hmm.
even when I was at the window, I said, he actually probably thought he was doing me a favor, because if somebody sees a check and it's right before
Right.
Thanksgiving, he like, you know what? I want to get this to this girl, because I know me. I would want somebody to bring this to me,
That's
and they
sweet. You
deliver.
have that perception of
Yeah,
the postman. Okay.
so but it was after the anger of, I stood in line, I waited, like, because this girl was gone,
And
like,
it's gone. You wasted my
yeah,
time for something important.
that's what I was saying. So, but then I was like, no. So she was, so when I told her I was so sorry, she was like, no, I understand. She was like, you just want what you want. And I was like, yeah. And I thought I was expecting something. So then as I was walking away, I was like, thank you so much. And then I was like, and happy Thanksgiving. And then when I walked out of there, I was like, why? Like, I kept thinking, like, why did you do that? Like, this is like, you don't even know what it is. And then I was thinking about doing all that for nothing, like, if it wasn't even but then I was like, no, I refuse to speak that, because I want to keep the faith on the things that I
That's
pick.
right.
And then I kept saying to myself, listen, you will not. I was like, why am I feeling? Because I got 3 dogs, so I'm like, they pulling. Now I'm like, come on, like, because after I didn't get the
It's a
thing at
lot
the
of the
grocery,
stress. It just stress all
it's
over the
all of
place.
that. But then I said to myself, I was like, once the dogs use the bathroom, I was like, what is this I'm feeling? And then I turned on my
Yeah.
worship music.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I have to get back into a grateful status. And then I'm like, Delise, you're human.
Ooh, look at you
You
working
are human.
fast.
You know what I mean? Like, just literally getting back into I'm just so great. I was like, Lord, this,
Right.
because when we're treating people mean, because
Say it.
we think we have a blessing that they may be blocking, then the blessing has become God to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, absolutely. I was like, Lord, I'm alive, and thank you so much. That's like, no
Right.
matter what
You
I'm waiting
gather.
on.
You gathered.
Yes. And that's what you have to constantly do. And then by the time I get home, I had heard my worship song. And then I was like, I don't care. I don't care what's, like, Lord, today is the best day. Like, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Lord.
It's
I
yours
came home.
regardless. You know what's yours. What's yours will be
That's
yours. What's
it.
yours will come to
And
you. And you already know how it
that's
got
it.
there
And
today. It'll
now,
get there next. You're fine.
hold on, honey. I'm telling you.
Pets be
Um,
like, I just got cats and
um,
they walk around my screen all the time. It's okay.
yes. So, and I call these dogs singers, honey, because they don't just do it like a woo, woo. They be like, like harmonizing, you know what I'm saying? Because it's three of them. So, two of them are twins. So, honey, they get the anyway, but
Aw.
it's a constant
Yeah.
having to gather,
Mm-hmm.
regroup, and
Mm-hmm.
also let yourself off the hook. You're human. You were expecting something, you felt let down. It's no
Mm-hmm.
need to be mean to anyone,
Mm-hmm.
and these are human feelings that you can feel at any
Right.
given time. You're not an angel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where you don't
It's the
feel anything.
takeover of the
Yes,
feelings that's a problem when you allow
yes,
the feelings to become who you are. Now I
yes,
am mad. Now I
yes,
am upset. Now I am.
yes, yes,
But what that moment though of self-reflection, that takes work to be able to do, because
yeah,
that takes not just awareness but patience on
yeah,
yourself. And
yeah,
that's something that not a lot of people even fathom. It's just
yeah,
the moment to go, hold on, I'm being an asshole because it's my fault, because I feel
yeah,
it's my feeling. I'm
yes,
the one.
yes. And then I remember thinking, because I listen to motivational stuff all day long. When I tell you, some days I don't even turn it off, because you got to be armed up, out here. But I listen to Reverend Ike a lot, and he is always saying, tell your feelings how to feel.
There you go. I like
And
that
I
one.
was like, feelings, you better get excited, honey. This day is about to blow your mind. Like, literally talking to your feelings, like, how, like, you don't tell me how to
Because
feel.
it's
I
you. Well,
tell
you're the
y'all how
only
to
one in
feel.
here.
Yes.
Right. You're the only one in here. That was my
I'm
realization
I'm
like
like,
just a
I
few
tell
weeks
y'all how to
ago.
feel. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I had another question for you. I I know my on stage presence is something I'm working on. You're
Mhm.
very, very lovely on stage, just speaking and talking to the people, and
Mm.
you give you have a story always, something to say that people could take away, almost like going to church. When you get the little lesson that comes with the parable. You
Yes,
get the little lesson. So,
thank you so
uh,
much.
yeah, yeah. So that's something that I've been working on. I feel like it needs to be something that um it needs to be something that I do with the people, with the audience, like to read the audience better. And so, do you have uh, any a story or an anecdote or anything about a time where I guess where you read the audience and you got it down, and how is it that you read the room to know your feeling? Because I've seen you perform singing when you sing, and I can
Mhm.
see the people. Usually when I watch singers, I'm not the audience. When I watch
Mhm.
singers, I'm like the observer of it all. So I watch
Mhm.
how the audience reacts to the singer, and I go, "Ooh, look at them falling in love. Oh, look at her. She's
Mhm.
feeling something." So I do that.
Mm. Mm.
So I've
Mhm.
watched it, but I haven't learned or experienced me actually creating that happen. So you being a person that does that, you shake the people, you make a laugh, you make a feeling. Is there a time that you can talk about that happening that made a point to you, or that you can remember when you moved a crowd, when you read it and you read it right and you moved a crowd and you felt it?
You know what? I just right because someone had invited me to their show, and they were getting this show started. Okay, so of course I thought it started at 8 o'clock. So
Mhm.
I jump in an Uber, a $24 Uber, mind you. Okay, so now I'm
Mhm.
already, when I get
On the other
there,
side of
and
town.
on the when I look on Instagram to double
Mhm.
check the address and I see it start at 9, I'm already a little perturbed. Okay, in a $24 Uber when I could have took the bus for free.
Mm.
So but I'm like, okay, no worries. I'ma just chill. I'm gonna go get motivational call juniors up the street, if I need to.
That motivational. I know what you're talking about. Is that dopamine snack? Can I get me a dopamine snack? Got it. I got it.
So I'm chilling, and then 9 o'clock comes, and oh, now we need to get the mics. The mics aren't working. Okay, 9:30. They still trying to focus. I think they're gonna have to get this 9:52. Yeah, they getting on the mic, but the mic sound low. We gonna have to bust a move. Okay, 10:30. Um, jigga jigga jig. Now they switching out the DJ set. You know
It's
what I'm
always
saying?
something, and
10
you're just sitting there
in
waiting for them to get it together.
10:31. I'm going. I thought I was going first. Dell's going first. I thought I was
Oh
going first.
no!
So I'm like, let her go first. She need to go first.
Right,
Okay, no problem. Please take the bullet. Okay, let me see how they are anyway. Because now we're supposed to do comedy, and
right.
this is a club setting.
Yeah.
So boom, I finally hit the stage, and you need to say one thing, and it needs to be your most honest thought, because they're thinking the same thing. So I get to the stage. First of all, they got this stage that's like 6 feet tall, so you like towering over the
Looking
people. So
down.
immediately I just don't even step on the stage. I go right in front of the crowd and take the mic, and I
Mm.
was like, this is the worst show ever. Everybody busts out laughing. I literally just rely on my improv. Was like, oh, and me and this lady already friend. She done bust in the bathroom when I'm on the toilet sitting down, mind you. Now they laughing at
You
that.
got
Then
them
I'm being
rolling.
like, then the DJ had to do. So I'm just calling it out. But then I immediately I stand there confidently, but I don't even worry about any more laughs, because I'm like, now we need to bust out the music.
Let's
This
go.
crowd has been smoking weed. They don't have the
Oh damn!
ability to keep connecting to jokes. And if they do, like, when people are connecting, they're
It's
connecting with, like,
delayed.
well,
The
they're,
weed makes you
yeah, it's
delay, like a
delayed.
late joke.
And yes, it's delayed. So I just said to myself, let me get, then the guy hits the stage, the guy who showed, whose name is on fire. He's like, y'all do me a favor, y'all respect Dell, which I appreciate it, but it didn't appreciate, because I wasn't even because at this point I'm
We've
not even
moved
taking it
on.
as I've
You've
moved
moved
on to like,
on.
let's get DJ, let's get you with the music. But I
Right.
did call up this rapper in the crowd. This girl was a rapper in the crowd. And that's where I feel like that was the best move ever. They all knew her
Mhm.
and they was excited to see her freestyle on my song and we performed together and it just
Oh,
brought
snap.
down the house because she was improv and she had to be patient because the DJ was like, what song, this and she
Oh
was like, all
God.
right, just call me back up. But she was a big deal in
Yeah.
there and I recognized her face, but I didn't know exactly who, like her name or whatever. But like she was important enough that somebody came to the stage to be like, oh no, her name is this, like to make sure that I was saying it correctly,
You get it right. Like,
get
yeah.
it right. And I was like, ma'am, can't wait to get it right. In fact, you looking
Right.
gorgeous, you're pregnant. But we rocked it together and I
That was
left
it.
out of
That was the
there,
interaction.
caught my bus. Bus was coming in a minute and a half. And, I really feel like I'm so happy to, because I was tempted to leave, but I
Mm.
didn't want to come in there and be like, okay, this ain't what I'm used to. No, they
This
had
is
invited me.
unprofessional.
Yes. Because the thing about it too is you have to think about the crowd. They're there for a good time.
Right.
And then somebody else wanted to go in front of me. So then I didn't want to be like, okay, no, I'm gonna
No,
go,
it's me first. I
just
said, mhm.
so I feel like the humility piece of it, that is the
Mm.
thing that I got extremely correct, which guided the performance to be so great because I stayed there. I calmed myself down the whole time. I made fun of it like, honey, these black shows, honey, I don't know what time they're gonna
It-
start. You know what I'm saying?
right. Here we're
And
gonna be till 2 in the morning.
that's it. And they enjoyed it. They all noticed it
Right.
too. And I just felt like, and I was just so happy too, because you can't go places and be like, y'all not paying me. I ain't gonna do. You just,
Oh God, I've heard that before, and it give me cringe to hear somebody talk like that out loud
it
because they want to be
some,
heard.
and sometimes you feel like that. People are like, people will pay you and or even the threat of money. Like I've had one show happen where one show get offered to me and I didn't even take the show because the girl sends out the lineup and then she says, and anybody running late is gonna get deducted half of their pay. So I just felt we're starting off on the wrong foot. Like I'm not even planning on
It's
being
not your
late.
vibe. She coming with that vibe,
Yes,
and that's the vibe she's running the show with.
yes. And that
Yes, that's
and the thing is, ma'am, you don't know me. Like, first of all, you're not even paying me enough to even act like that. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no 5-figure check where I need to run
she had
over
her
here. This
ego
is
running the
three
show.
fig. Yes. And to me, I just canceled hers to do a free show. And I'm like, I'll go over here and I'll sing and I'll do stand up with these people because my respect is everything. Like money does not run. My source is the Lord. That's who provides every
Amen.
dollar that comes into the door. Your
Right.
show, I'm gonna take your show and maybe it'll be some money, but maybe it'll be 2-3 years off my lifespan from having to deal with your spirit. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm still gonna need my rent. Like your
Right.
thing is not covering my rent.
Right.
So
It's not the end
I
all
just
be all
said
of
to
my
my
existence.
and also too, you don't know what a person is going through. You don't know if I've been sick. You don't know if a person had to get off work late because somebody called in. This is how you start the
Right.
energy of not
Mhm.
meeting people. These people, like you don't own, and that's what I was trying to tell her, ma'am. You don't own the performers when you book them. And a lot of and I haven't met a lot of
They
white
take their
bookers
egos.
that
Their
act like
egos,
this.
right? Yeah.
Yes, I have not met a lot of like white bookers that are like this, or
Hmm.
Latino bookers that are like this. I've met a lot of black bookers that are like, they put you on the show and it's just like, I need my artist to
What's
do
not
this.
gonna
I
happen
need
is,
my
yeah.
art. Like, no, like what? We are not your anything. We are
Mm.
independent contractors who agreed
Mm.
to perform and do the show. But like, I when I have a show, I want people to promote as well. But at the end of the day, when I invite you to my show, it is my responsibility to get the people in it. I'm not about to keep harassing y'all like, listen, y'all, let's get these people up in here. Let's get these so. Because the thing about it too is whenever I'm stressed about the people arriving, is because I'm taking the stress on my own. Whenever I give it to the Most High God and I be like, listen, Yahweh, I need you to fill this up in Jesus' name. Thank you so much. Honey, that show be like, oh, I've met about here. But you know, you have to remember to do that. But sometimes people get that same stress and they forget that it's not by your own strength, it's by,
Right.
you know, the Most High God who is going to bring
Right.
everybody in here. So, you know,
It's
me,
the vibe
I'm
you go into. Your
yes,
the whole conversation.
yes,
That's been your main point. Is what
yes,
the way you're coming in is what you're
yes,
gonna pull out. And if
yes,
what I'm coming in with, it seems like what you got is not the same. It's not resonating. If
yes,
I can't reverberate with you, then we have a problem. I mean, it's just
yes.
that's yeah.
And
And
it's
we don't
and
do
it's
problems because it's
and
we're trying
guys,
to entertain. It's all good.
and y'all are better aligned. Like you
Mm.
know, the other people were on the show. I hope the show went well, you know, and the thing, but I know me, I went out and I had a absolute great time
Right.
at the other show, and that other show didn't pay me a dime, and I don't
Right.
care because
Right.
my rent was not getting paid by this show either.
Either
That would have
way,
been,
yeah. So might as
you
well
know
have
what I'm
my
saying?
spirit be calm and in
Yes,
light, because
yes,
at the end,
yes,
everything's gonna be the same at the end of both, at the actual
you
end
know,
of it.
yes.
Yeah,
And the spirit is everything, you know.
that's right.
The protection of the spirit is everything. You have to invest in what is making your spirit prosper. You know, you
Mhm.
have to literally invest in it. You have to sometimes you got to sit on the couch and do nothing, you know, just to refill your spirit. You know,
That's
sometimes you
right.
got to not take things, or sometimes you got to take things and maybe those things don't pay, but they pay in your you know, spiritually. And you know,
So is
it
this
it
what you do? Is that this what you do? Is this like your quote quote ritual before performing or whatnot? Is just being in, getting into that space, right? Into the space of just calm. It is what it is. I'm here for
mhm,
what's good
mhm,
because
mhm,
I am what's good,
mhm.
right? Is this
I'm
what you're
I before I perform, I say blank mind. I keep saying blank mind, blank mind, blank mind, so that I'm not thinking of anything. Like if I have something I want to respond to, I write it down real quick, and then I go back to just like watching the show. And then if something
mm,
is like killing in front of me, I go out of the room. I come back. I go out of the room. I come back, because sometimes you know people killing in front of you could get in your head, you know, and then you when they get in your head, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, are they gonna laugh like that with me? But they, yes,
right?
because they're like, I want more. I want to laugh with
They want
whoever. I
more.
don't care if it's dry. I don't care if it's high energy. But the thing
There's no
about it too is I
comparison. You're
keep,
just different.
yes, and but the thing is I keep moving. Even when I'm sitting down, like sometimes you go to a show and there's a light show, so you want to sit and you want to support the other performers. But right before I go on, I just kick my legs in the seat, because our legs are connected to our mind. When our
Mm.
legs are moving, our mind is running and it's creating. So I'll just kick my feet.
Oh,
I'll
you
just keep
little. You
twiddling my
can kick your
toes.
legs when you sit down.
No, but that's the thing is I'll just keep moving my legs. I literally will keep bending my knees back and forth, because your legs have to move so that your
Mm,
thoughts can move. So I'll
okay.
get up, and then right before I perform, I'll get up, I'll use the bathroom, or I'll go outside, I'll do this, because the thing is the legs control the mind completely. You know, if you're seated, then it's stagnant. But if
Right.
you are moving around, then that's where the new ideas start coming. And you know, I can be like, and she said this and this, because I'm now more connected
You
to
move.
what I'm
Yeah. You've
hearing.
moved with yourself.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. I
So
I wanna I wanna uh and we'll be done, and I have one more question and we're done, girl. Thank you so much. I had noticed when I go on stage, right before I go on stage to perform music, not to talk comedy, but to do my raps and whatnot.
hmm hmm
Um, I feel like I'm there, but then once I start my song, a few seconds in, I'm gone.
hmm
I turn into my own observer at the moment, at
mm,
that, while the whole song is happening. I'm
hmm
watching myself, I'm watching the people, and then right before the song ends, I come back in and I
mm,
end the show.
hmm
I that's how it feels. but I don't know if it's, I don't know why it feels like that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm actually having an out of body experience, or if I'm
Mm,
right, or if I've rehearsed it so much in my head that that's the only place I can go to make it actual is go back, go. I don't know, but that happens to me when I go to perform.
mm,
I get on, I start, rapping. A few seconds in, I'm gone. I don't remember, and I don't
mm,
remember. I don't remember,
mm.
Del, the middle of my show. I only remember the
Wow.
beginning, and then when I say, "All right, thank you guys, have a good day."
It sounds out of body. Sounds out of body.
But
It sounds
that's
so, because yeah, it's like because once you have it, once you're rocking, it sounds like, your spirit is like, all right, well, shoot, we got this now. I done already
there we
programmed to let
go.
you just do what I want to do now. Let me just watch myself and see. There you go, flash,
You
flash. You better
explained it.
stop. You better get there.
That's it. That's exactly it. It's like I'm already like like, oh, you know what to do. I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm just gonna
Yes.
watch. And it's always been
Mm-hmm.
my dream to make possible, which is impossible, for me to perform and watch myself at the same time. Not possible.
Wow.
Not possible. But that's like I really, really want to do that. Right. But the
Yeah.
closest to that is when I'm on stage performing my rap music, and when I'm performing my songs, where I can actually step off and I can see it as I'm doing it, and then I come back in. Now, in
Mm,
regards to rituals, I just don't like going first.
I know. I used to want to go first so I can hurry up and get out of there. But I find that the later I go in, the more connected I am, because
Mm.
now I don't want to go 17th either. You know what I'm saying? But if
Right, when they're already eating the
because that
chicken.
just, now I'm drained. Yes. But if I'm headlining a show, it does give me a chance to watch what other people have done, how they've connected, and my mind is constantly responding. So my show is even more alive to the people, because I'm now being like, so and so was up here talking about earlier, and then I have my jokes, but I have spent, the first 15 minutes on just responding to my thoughts on something other people might have said or something that might have happened. And it makes it much more fun for the audience, because
Right.
they noticed it too. They thought the same thing too, or they was, shocked or whatever.
Do you like
So
to like stand outside and like talk with the people a little bit and have some vibes before you go in, like kind of get to know, maybe some people go hello, hello, and then they might not know that you're even performing. They might not.
sometimes
Do you ever do
I don't
that?
make it I mean, I will do it if it happens naturally.
If
If
it
I'm going
happens. Yeah.
in and I talk to the people, but I don't just be like, all right, now if I go
Intentionally.
in and they're already seated, I
Hmm.
do want to go in case, I call it case in the joint. I want to go see
Yeah.
what the crowd is looking
What it
like,
look like.
how they laughing, how they seated, what they look, you know what I'm saying? I want to go see the vibe, do a vibe check.
Yeah.
And if we're not where I can see the show, I consistently go in the showroom to do vibe checks. Like, so I'll do that all the time. But, standing out to talk to, it's hard for me to pay full attention to anyone, because I'm, my
You're ready
head is
for your
already
show
taken
and you're
over.
performing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, okay. And then my last the last question I did write down, and I don't like hypotheticals, but I'm gonna give you one and you don't have to answer it. If you had to choose one of your amazing talents and that was your bread and butter plus the life, can you choose one? Can you? Because I can't. I can't. I'm gonna stay all over the place.
I know. It's so hard. First of all, comedy and music is like one and the same. They both have a rhythmic honesty
Mm-hmm.
that you have to, you have to spew out in order to connect with people. So they're kind of the same, but I don't know. It
You
just,
can't
I couldn't
choose.
stick with, no, I can't stick
You
with
I
one. But I
can't
mean, if
choose.
I had to, I think it would be it would never be one. Like, it would be music, but I would always be funny in between the songs anyway, because I'm
Well,
just
you're
a funny
just
person.
funny.
That's
Yeah.
it. So, and that's all singers. If you think about it, singers are constantly telling you funny stories, honest
In
stories.
between the songs, right? Little
Yes, and then
anecdote.
the crowd is laughing because that's what it is. That honesty is telling you how things are formed But I do like the music. I do like it being like it's pressure free, because even if another singer is in front of me and they are amazing, it's still, and this is with comedy too, but like it's still your distinctive gift. So
Mhm.
there's no competition with how the Lord
Right.
made you sound and the notes you hit in your music.
Right.
Even if it was a Fantasia in front of you, you still could step there so
My
confidently, like
turn.
this is my rock,
This is my song.
Fantasia.
Right.
Yes, Macy Gray could definitely follow Fantasia because this is how she sound.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't pick one either. And I look at what I do and I'm like, okay, I'm all over the place. I'm rapping. I'm trying to sing. I'm
Yes.
talking to people on the internet. I'm trying to learn from people, because
Yes.
this is one of the main reasons for the podcast part is so people can share their perspective, and I can get me some
Wow.
lessons, you know,
Wow.
and everybody has something to say and something to
Yeah.
teach.
Yeah.
Um, so and this is why we're here. So, but I
Yeah.
appreciate you and I appreciate your time.
Thank you
And
so much. This was
I'm
so
all the way up.
fun.
I'm in Huntington Beach, so I'm far now, but I go into LA all the time. So I need to come and see you again at one of your shows. I'm not even gonna tell
Yes.
you. I'm just gonna,
You
and
got to
that's it.
come to the Juke Joint on December 7th, because that is a loose format show. And when singers and rappers like pop up, we always get them to like vibe out, do a freestyle to the beat and join in on songs, because we have a live band and it's clean comedy.
Right.
So
Okay.
you got to pop
Send me
up.
the info, the juke
I
joint info, and
will.
I'll
You
make
got to
it
pop
over there.
up.
We're gonna have a fun time. I like
Yes.
having a fun time. That's why. I'm telling you. You remind me of home. You remind me the vibe, the places to be, the things to do. It's like this. It feels just like Birmingham.
Wow.
So
Yes.
thank you so much for that. And
Thank
that's
you
it.
so
Do you
much.
want to say something else, Del? Do you want to plug anything else? Tell anybody. Tell the
No,
people
that's
something.
it. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me. Y'all come join me December 7th at Navessa here in Hollywood, which is right here on the Walk of Fame. Navessa Vinyl Records, the Hollywood Music Store. December 7th, 8 p.m. It's free with your RSV, just RSVP. You can RSVP right on my website. It's also on Eventbrite. My website is iamdelharrison.com. So
That's right.
come see me December 7th, and it's clean live music. You're going to have a good time.
Thank you, Del, for your time. That was the Mimi Show today. Y'all have a good day. Thank you, Del.
Bye. See ya.